Today, I want to talk about a very beloved and missing 3D Mario game from the Nintendo Switch as a playable title, and we are talking about Super Mario Galaxy 2, because of course, if you remember Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which was part of Mario's 35th anniversary celebration, we got everything except Galaxy 2 in the mainline 3D Mario series, because it's Mario 64, it's Mario Sunshine, and Galaxy 1, which is fantastic, but this audience is kind of split on if Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 2 is the better game, and I tend to think the Galaxy 2, with the amount of content it offers and Yoshi, I kind of like it more, and we're missing it entirely from the Switch, so I want to deep dive a conversation on whether or not we might ever see Nintendo port this over as a standalone game in the future, and also tackle the conversation if the 3D Mario games as part of the 3D All-Stars collection are really just that one moment in history, which clearly you can still go find physical copies of that game, but will they ever re-release it again in a digital format for purchase? So we're going to unpack all of that while I boot up and play Mario Galaxy 2 for the first time in a long time together. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here, and with that, we'll hop straight into some gameplay. All right, so first off, I would like to say that this could very easily be done just for the simple fact that we actually have this game running on an emulator, and all I had to do was upscale it, and it already looks beautiful and ready to go. If you actually look at the visual presentation of Galaxy 2 when just simply up-resed, it's immediately, I mean, a simple port to the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, there will be some reworking of the controls and things like that that Nintendo will have to do and figure out for a Switch version, but not much at all. And you know how beautiful Galaxy 1 looks on the Switch. This was on the same Wii console, of course, so there is absolutely zero reason that Nintendo wouldn't be able to make this work. It's really just going to be up to them on whether or not they want to re-release this at some point in time. Now, maybe it's saved for Mario's 40th anniversary and we get some kind of mega collection sold as a limited time thing. And that is one of my kind of minor complaints there as well, is just the fact that why is it limited time to begin with? You know what I mean? Like with the classic beloved Mario games, I get the trying to do a temporary celebration and kind of make a big deal about it, like, oh, make sure you buy the game while it's available. But then you run into the situation where you just can't easily find it, and you definitely can't get it digitally if you're somebody that likes to purchase your games that way. And then we have these situations where they're just kind of gone for good one day, and you just hate to see that when you talk about you know, games that you know and love and ones you want to be able to easily play. So I think Nintendo has obviously some easy money on their hands with the Galaxy 2 port. I just don't know how likely it is that we see it in the Switch's life cycle anymore. I do think at some point Mario will have another celebration within the Nintendo Switch 2's life cycle that hopefully this will be included in some way, shape, or form, but we'll have to wait and see. But I did want to kind of, you know, walk down memory lane a little bit with you all with Mario Galaxy 2. Let me know your nostalgia for this game, if you love it, if you were never, maybe you never played it, you know, maybe played Galaxy 1 as part of 3D All-Star Pack, maybe you never played this one, and what do you think of what you've seen of the game online and things like that, because I would argue that this one is, why am I just running in circles even though, okay, that was weird. Now, this one I would argue is, plays, I mean, it plays exactly the same mechanically, but I would say from a level design standpoint, Nintendo really one-upped themselves because they knew they were kind of creating the same game, right? I mean, very rarely do we see a sequel in the Mario universe. You know, I don't necessarily think we're going to see an Odyssey 2. It is not a common thing for Nintendo to just actually repeat the same theme twice, but apparently they had so many level ideas that they wanted to do with this Galaxy mechanic, which still hasn't been revisited. I mean, you don't see round planet levels like this in Mario Odyssey, you know, so it really was that unique time. But I would say that 2 has probably some of the best level design in a 3D Mario game, period. I think you can put it at the top of the list. I'm a weird person, and Mario Sunshine is actually my favorite game. It literally is, just from a difficulty standpoint. Those stages that Mario takes FLUDD off of you, like the Shadow Mario, who, spoiler, is actually Kid Bowser, but or Bowser Jr. rather. But anyway, all of that, those stages, like some of the platforming difficulty, I just think it's like Mario 3D Mario at its peak. But I also love the visual representation and style of space with a Mario game. I think they go great together. You can die like that at any point in time, talking about difficulty, and it's just fun and enjoyable to me. I think it's something that I wouldn't be opposed to the next 3D Mario game actually being a Galaxy 3. I don't think they'll do that, but that's how much I like this environment and this setting. Sunshine 2, that would definitely not be the case, because it's definitely not the most fan beloved Mario installment, we'll say it that way. But for me, it's got some of the best platforming, and really enjoyed the levels, especially towards the end as you ramp up on different levels and things. You get closer to that final Bowser fight. Sunshine is an awesome game, as are all 3D Mario games. Like, you're not gonna have a bad time if you boot up a 3D Mario game. That's just kind of how it is. So, you know, this one's easy money for Nintendo. I wonder if we'll ever see it at any point in the future. You know, there's no telling for sure, but as you guys can see, a simple 4K upres here, and you know, you really don't even have to upres it to 4K. You throw this thing at 1080p on the current Switch, it's gonna look and run great. 60 frames per second, all that good quality of life stuff. Give us some different control enhancements, and Nintendo's got, you know, honestly, they could probably just go the route of selling it as a $60 game, but because the amount of stages in this game is insane. But I would hope that they would make it part of some kind of collection, an updated Mario collection. How cool would it be if they went and just did Super Mario Bros. All-Stars through the whole series, and we actually had a lot of the 2D games included in there from the SNES era, and they got a little visual enhancement once again, kind of at least the new Super Mario Bros. Style treatment, and we just had like a huge collection of all of the classic Mario games. I think something like that would be incredible. Probably too much value to throw into one cartridge, and Nintendo would maybe try to sell it for like $100 or something, which is kind of uncharacteristic from them to begin with. So maybe we won't get anything like that, but I don't know how they're gonna, or if they will do anything with Galaxy 2, but I really just think it's a shame right now that this thing is stuck on the Wii, because, you know, the Wii doesn't have an HDMI port. You know, it's not the easiest thing to hook up in the modern times, and it would be great to see Nintendo not leave this one alone. But in true Nintendo fashion, there are a ton of games that just make all the sense in the world that they're more or less just sitting on, and we're just wondering as fans if we're ever going to have an easy way to play those again or not. So kind of goes with the MO of being a Nintendo fan, but we're gonna get our first star here. Of course, this game, a big gameplay mechanic upgrade that came along with it is Yoshi, and I believe we get him very early on. It might even be in the next level, but I don't necessarily think we'll dive into that. But Yoshi was a nice addition, and this one just has everything that Galaxy had, but kind of taken to the next level with platforming and ideas and power-ups and things, in my opinion. So I want to hear from you guys at this point in the video in the comments down below if you have fond memories of Galaxy 2. If so, you know, what are some of your favorite memories of it, and what do you think about Galaxy 1 versus 2? Do you think Nintendo will ever revisit this title and port it over to Nintendo Switch or even Switch 2, or do you think it's going to be one of those that you have to go back and hook up your Wii or emulate it in order to actually enjoy this timeless classic? So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. Go watch the video on screen next if you haven't already. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.